is Mount Everest in terms of today's series, especially.
Yeah, they've had to do like a warm up already on like Mount Kilimanjaro, and
Right,
then they've been
basically,
able to
yeah.
do it. But like they gotta be so gassed here by now. And so if Forsaken managed to pull this off, if they managed to make some magic happen here on Vertigo, it would be absolutely incredible. But obviously, a couple hills to climb before they get there here. But kicking things off, Vertigo pistol round. We've got ourselves a lot of utility coming through here from M80 as they like to meet him at the punch here. Over towards middle. Malb's going to be lurking about. He's got a lot of players contacting right beside him.
Out the gate, so M80 decided to take a lot of contact in A, sell a lot of information on potentially an A play, but it's mid the real name of the game here for M80. M80 and Malbs gets a for opening kill in his own right, but smoked off into the jump up. Infinite has them kind of pinned down here, swings out wide and takes care of Malbs into the 3v3. And that initial game plan from M80 has been completely halted because the bomb has been dropped over on the B side of the map.
Ooh, but a little bit of space given by 60. He needs to redeem himself here, catching Infinite off guard, and he will be able to do so. Shakes it right off. And goes 2 for 1. 60, big impact. One of his dual Berettas here. Wolfie gonna get caught on an awkward angle there. Wiz gonna claim it. And I thought maybe that slight error in communication would have cost him, but 60 with 2 to nullify that is going to make the job all the more easy. And M80, I gotta say, maybe that pistol round a little too all over the place.
Yeah, as soon as that smoke goes up on the jump up, M80 feel like they spin out of control there. Kind of caught between two minds. You have Malbs trying to take the duel in front of that smoke, and then you have a couple players sitting behind the smoke as well, potentially trying to take care of maybe an elevator's rotate, but it's a little too late at that point. Infinite's gotten settled, 60 as well on the bomb side with the dualies, and it becomes a little too easy to deal with the Forsaken. They're gonna take the full eco or M80. They do get one frag. They do get a second, but that should be all she wrote for right now. Good, decent amount of damage for M80 to write home about, but Forsaken will keep that clean sheet alive.
Yeah, no big deal for a guy like Wiz. Let's just close things out right there. But those Glocks definitely got a little bit loud there. Louder than Forsaken might have liked. Only losing a couple of guns, no big deal. You can shake that off here. All the emphasis is going to be put towards the here and now. With a big bonus round in store. They've got to make some magic happen with just a couple MP9s here. Not the easiest task. We'll see if they can get in their face. Dive into the fray here. Again, it's that Swisher aggression here. This guy opening up the rounds all day here. And he won't stop come Vertigo.
Oh, that tick of the molly just gives Swisher just a bit more information that 60 would have liked to not have given over. And now Stanislav's position has been noted. He goes down for free, but there's Manx from Crane to take things down. Wreck there for the trade as well. Clean as you'd like for M80. Very simple CS there. Just trying to take early ramp control, capitalize upon that early pick that they get onto 60, and then snowball that into an A-bomb plan. Lovely stuff.
It's simple but very explosive as well there. You can see how quickly M80 are able to kick it into gear. And that, even despite, you know, the numbers that Forsaken have, still get overwhelmed, still win the trade game. They're going to get off to a great start here. Kind of unfortunate for Infinite is that you only do get to save this MP9. You would like to walk away with maybe a A1S or an AK or something. I'm not going to do too much here.
What? Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
Oh, that is so unreal. What a read from Wolfie, man.
That is just sickening right there, man. That was just like a couple of headshots, couple of wall bangs instantly, right? You just nailed that one. Not a lot you can do about that.
And now Forsaken have nothing to take into this next round. Infinite would have loved to at least have some sort of threatening ability with that MP9, but now it's just the 5.7. Granted, that gun can also do quite a bit of damage.
I think they've heard
Put it in the right
60.
position. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think they've heard him. I've definitely seen him now with that molly, but 60 still wins the gunfight anyways. What is going on in this first bit of Vertigo? Just some unreal frags across the board.
Yeah, I think we got some midnight madness going on here. And, you know, I mean, at least if you're on the side of Forsaken, you've been playing them. There's never too much Counter-Strike, but they're getting close to it, right? And getting a little bit wild, you know, missing some jumps and then wreck. That's been a long first map, you know. Has to wipe his eyes a little bit as he gets blasted by the USP, and not a bad save, you know. He'll take it. AK into the next round, facilitated by a USP. 60 watching from the sidelines, but you imagine he's having a good laugh.
Oh yeah. If you're any of these players on this server, you just want to give your head a little bit of a shake. Wake up. Still a lot of Counter-Strike having to be played. And, you know, potentially maybe even a third map on the horizon if Forsaken could take us there. So, at the end of the day, these players got to understand what's at stake, right? That spot at IEM Sydney, a chance to just lock in a one best of three to get them there with no complexity initially involved is just such a boon to either of these rosters that I'm sure that is what's just powering them at this point with the basically golden opportunity that they have to potentially play at the highest level. Play against some of the best teams in the world on this ESL Pro Tour. Just would be so amazing.
Yeah, like you said, you kind of got to realize the stakes here. Because this qualifier, it does kind of feel like a challenger qualifier where that's 8 teams. Not always like the premier rosters as well, but this is like you've been mentioning here, S-tier event, right? Your chance at getting the opportunity to play some of the best of the best, and that obviously is something of the utmost importance. It'll put you one step away from getting there. Making sure to keep your sights, and that sort of scope is going to be of the utmost importance for both of these teams here as Rek looks to test Infinite. There's already so much damage done. He sacrifices his life for the aggression, but he will win that duel. Quickly traded, but Swisher, again, man, over towards that A side is pushing and pulling the attention so well.
Huge kill for Wiz to pull back, though. Now that mid defense or mid offense has been pulled away, and it really is the only bit of map control that they have in Swisher. Marching his way up the side hall, and I don't know if Stan is aware of how close he is to this A bomb site. And this is the ever pivotal kill here. The bomb should be able to go down, can't get denied by any utility. But let the retake commence.
Committed on these angles here. Swisher going to fight forward. Gives over his position. Ooh, a little bit of an awkward HE right there, but you still have Manx close by. He's just taking so much damage, and he's getting caught on this awkward angle. They're just dwindling their HP bars here in the 3v3. Wolfie not able to chime in with his op just yet, and he's spotted out as well, making the job so much more difficult. But Swisher's quick headshot, that's going to help out. A quick peek. 1-2 from Wolfie. Will get the job done in M80. Got to grab themselves another one.
Oh, that's sharp shooting there from Wolfie. When he's on, this guy is on. It is definitely that streaky aspect of him that people hope to see the better side of. But we don't get to see it all too often. He was pretty quiet on Overpass, all things considered. Had some key impact frags, but showing his spot on the team is deserved with that two-piece. Swisher low. I mean, it really was the only win condition in that round there. Gets it over the line, snaps the money of Forsaken, and keeps this T-side alive. Double tack timeout now from M80. Bit odd in the kind of timing of all of this, considering they're into a lesser buy here. But perhaps just some general protocol discussion. I'm not exactly sure. You don't see double tack timeouts being used in this kind of fashion.
I'd be interested to see what's being discussed over on their camp. What they're kind of gearing up for right now. Maybe trying to set that scope. Either way, we get back into the action here once again. And they're up against what is going to be an easier opportunity. Swisher going to be continuing his aggressive antics over towards that A side here. And there's a lot of HEs right now that are crab walking around that corner. Kind of makes me think they got a nade stack in tow. It's nice. Not bad damage, but nothing too crazy. We'll be jumping up there. We'll catch 60 actually.
They try to flash through as well, but Swisher is so aware. Takes down Stanislav. But meanwhile, Malps has gone down in the other side of the map. Sadly for them, though, it's not enough with Rek basically able to waltz into this B bomb site for free. And sure, Infinite's been able to get his hands on an AK, but the cross has been made over, and his body is dropped to the ground. And M80 have locked themselves in a fourth, continuing their good streak here.
Great work on this T side already. Being able to throw that aggression right back in their face. Really well prepared for that from Wolfie and Swisher. Especially if you, again, talk about the comfortability that Wolfie actually brings on this map. I feel like Overpass, I've seen some slight struggles out of his opping. Some concerns here or there when it comes to his time with ATK. But I feel like Vertigo, man, something about this map and Wolfie really levels up his game. So very comfortable on the angles. Knows how to play that A side, knows every little detail. And I feel like that partially just bolsters this M80 Vertigo so much when you have that sort of efficiency out of Opper, and then you have Swisher standing alongside you as well.
Yeah, that 1-2 punch is very, very deadly, and then you add into the extra factors of, you know, if Malbs is having a good day, walking out in mid, opens up the map there, Rek has that B extremity. I mean, there's just so many options, oodles of options for Manx to deal with. Must be just so great for him to call with such a roster that can be so reliable on which part of the map that he so pleases. This time around, though, Infinite wants to get a little bit more aggressive, make M80 work for this B stairs control. But, as aforementioned, Swisher has taken ramp all on his own. A lot of options here for him as well.
Oh man, you can see how much he has to cover right now. Worried about side haul, worried about boosting. So much fears here. It's all about choosing those right angles. Ooh! Looked a little bit prepared for that angle from Stanislav. There's no smoke to get him out, but his teammate does have one. He'll still fade away. Gets out safely. And Malb's taking some damage there through the wall as well. Wiz left with the task of dealing with this aggression from Malb's back turned. Nice little off angle held by the op of Forsaken in this round. Going just nicely here so far. No responses. And there's that boost, but what a quick reaction there from Wolfie.
Might not matter in the end, but man, is it flashy. Still a lot of work to be done, and Wolfie has Wiz sliding into his crosshair, and he's got another one to deal with. Actually hits the shot onto Stanislav down to 3 HP. And with that, he goes scampering back in elevators and essentially gifts over a bomb plant. But here comes Infinite. The snake in the grass here for Forsaken. And surely this bomb won't be able to go down. There's no way to get discounted for this. But Meg swings around. Takes quite a heavy amount of damage. But yeah, you're not getting this bomb down per se. Just a chance there, man. 3 HP on Standard is a lot of difference. Manx retrieves that AWP, but whew, that 2v4 looks way closer than it needed to be.
Wolfie, man. Again, look how comfortable he is with these angles here. Being able to just best in the head-to-head Wiz with relative ease.
Yeah.
Peeking into his op, he knows where he needs to position himself. He knows how to peek these angles. You can just clearly see that this is some of his domain right here. And I mean, just kind of talking about some of the extra pieces that you can have step up here to the plate. Really promising that Wolfie's just another name here that you can rely on, even if it doesn't count for a round. It's so much damage on your way out. Bit of a weird molly. Saying, hey, Swisher, you can only go forward here.
You must go forward. You must take A ramp. I mean, you're right. That damage is pretty significant. MP9 on JBA, FAMAS on Infinite, and the go button is immediate on this B bomb site. Infinite does get one completely blind on a Malbs, but he's stuck behind his default box. But there's the flash from JBA.
Oh
a
my
dink on a
God.
wreck as well. How much efficiency can we get out of Infinite today? And now, this 3v2, look at how much damage has been done at this point. The chip damage from the nades, from the mollies, leaves Swisher in an impossible task. 12 HP to his name. And man, what a round from Infinite.
Yeah, I mean, two excellent flashes right there from M80. Chained to near perfection on the aggression right there. And you would have thought that's, you know, easy. Infinite, he's going to be bested here. He's blinded up. He's getting pressured so heavily. But he manages to find that fully blind kill to start things off. And then manages to take down Wolfie as well with the AWP. I mean, two incredible kills right there. And then he follows it up with a dink. So we've had a day of just really strong Vertigo B anchors. That's been a consistency. Infinite has had it 2 halves where he's really held it down. But Floppy, another one of those good examples.
And I'm expecting big things from Rec as well when we switch on over. I'm assuming he's that B anchor, right? If he's playing those B extremities.
I mean, yesterday
on that T side.
I was watching and I was going to assume it's Rec here and Malb's playing more of a rotation role, but it also could be Malb's, depending on if he's keeping some of those like Team 1 roles.
Fair enough, yeah.
But I only got to see one round out of their CT side, and that was a pistol.
Oh, fair enough, right. It was
16-0,
16-0, right. Oh, man. Well, we know what's to come in terms of that T side, how much that they can get out of it. Another opportunity for Forsaken to build on their fortunes, though. Loved that performance out of Infinite. And I think, again, M80 should be relying upon the good graces of Swisher opening up this A side of the map. But you don't see as much aggression from Forsaken as you'd hope to think, as they did against Complexity earlier today. They're very okay with giving away a lot of this A presence and playing retake on this A bomb site.
Oh, the zeros are up. Mal's this time going to be tasked with the entries. As Manx, yeah, I think maybe giving over a little bit too much space here. I mean, we kind of pan over and Manx is all the way pressed in towards elevator without taking any resistance. So, like you said, that's always a bit of a surprise when you see how much control is actually given to a team right there. That was definitely a shock to me. Like, just kind of seeing where Manx was in that round in a flash. As JBA and Infinite, they actually are looking to give this old college try here. Rec still standing close by, jiggling. Flashback is so well placed there. That's going to take care of the bomb diffuser. Manx with a quick trade, and that's going to be a pretty easy job right there coming through from M80.
Yeah, and as you said, I mean, they need to get A ramp pressure here, and you give too much respect, you do get surprised by players like Manx there, just charging up Crane. And a couple well-placed flashbangs, as soon as one of the 2 cross smokes are up, your job as a CT gets so much more difficult. And you can see M80 making quick work of that A bomb site. Snaps whatever momentum that was being built up by Forsaken, thrust them down to pistols. And back to winning ways here for M80. A lot to be happy about.
Doing a good job of just keeping that economy relatively low, never letting Forsaken string too much in a row. I've had some good rounds here. They definitely have some good individuals showing up on the CT side, but not bringing in that consistency long term there. Infinite just chased away by the HEs right there that tossed his direction. Malb's a nice little mid lurk. Pretty much nullify here. The double swing coming through. Just anything to try and pull things back, but Malb's just building up a little bit of confidence here on this map is exactly what the doctor ordered. And I will say, Rec's doing a lot of lurking right now in this sort of situation, whereas Malb is, oof, jeez. Whereas Malb is kind of lurking out towards middle. So I think just kind of giving us that sort of indication on the T side, it probably is going to carry over into the defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. That's purely what I've judged that CT positioning off. I haven't watched really enough of M80's Vertigo uh, to give that suggestion, but I think that regardless of what they decide, they're in good hands either
Yeah.
way. Both are very capable players at anchoring down bomb sites. We've seen so many highlights from either one of these players across their previous lineups, Wreck on Strife and of course Malbs on Team One. But the aggressive maneuvers now finally working out in Forsaken's favor. Maybe it's not on ramp, but B stairs and mid aggression has just been completely rampant in Forsaken's favor.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit more like it right there. Being able to throw that right back in their face, winning a lot of those duels. And Mank's going to try and stand for as much exit damage as he can. We'll find a quick headshot there. Has bomb in tow, but dealt with quickly by Wiz. Which is good news. Finally, a little bit more aggression. Quick around there from M80 thrown at Forsaken, and Forsaken able to throw it right back in their face.
And not the best finances here for M80. Mank should have finances, Wreck as well. Wolfie can chime in, but it'll be pistol slash SMGs on the rest. And yeah, Malb's opposite for the MAC-10. So maybe something a little bit more pacier here out the gates for an M80. Try to jostle up that defense. But they're just going to wait around, and Wolfie tries to take that early duel. Can't win out the fight against Wiz. Fast in front of those flames. And instantaneously, here's the response. The immediate boost up on the back of B. But spotted out by Infinite. Double up setup here as well here, Cole.
Well prepared here. That smoke fade, though, is going to fade in 60's favor. Flashbang could aggress him further on in, but he just has some sort of gap. It's hard to anticipate there for Swisher. Looking for transfers, but he goes down swinging. Manx will eventually trade, but it already sets the tone here. 4v2. Breaks being hit by Wreck as he waits for a flank possibility. Not going to come through just yet. Meanwhile, Manx starting to take some space, take some risk. His next point of contact here is going to be up against the op, and Wiz was ready for that. Stand with the plan there to peek side hall. We'll take care of Wreck, and we are tied up here. So a little bit of back and forth continuing.
Yeah, and they should pull over or pull ahead the CTs now. With another eco coming up for M80, but I love that round from 60. I mean, we have to talk about his good work that he was able to put against Complexity previously on their comeback journey. And it was just that unrelenting aggression on the A ramp to get kill after kill. But as we also saw, that it was their eventual undoing. That last round against Pistols where 60 just overextends just a little bit and drops the ball. You'd hope that that conversation has been had in the Forsaken camp. Because beyond that, I mean, he had quite a stellar CT half, all things said.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that is a good point there. It was just that commitment to the bit, I felt like, that cost him. And again, you know, in that last series versus Complexity on Vertigo, you know, stellar CT side, they just dug themselves in too deep of a hole. I feel like you can, and it's almost necessary to make those sort of plays, you know, get aggressive, go for those forward angles. And sometimes they won't work out, right? But as long as you're throwing them out into the mix every once in a while, it's just that really steep clawback that they had to come back into, which I think ended up costing them a little bit more. Good news is they do start on their CT side, but if their T side does seem to struggle the same way, I do wonder how much M80 can gather here, how much is necessary for them to gather, and they still have opportunities to gather a little bit more. Again, Forsaken willing to concede a lot of this ramp control.
Yeah, as soon as the guns are out, 60 and Stanislaw just completely back up. We saw the difficulties that it was supposed to front for Forsaken the first time around, and they try to flash and disrupt this time. But Mank still gets that opener, but there's Wiz on the edges of that default smoke. And now 60 decides to disrupt even further by jumping up top of the default box. And he's got another on the Wolfie. 2v4, and there's no real headway here for M80.
There you go. Wiz is able to snipe down from the back range right there. There was a gap in that smoke that, like you said, I think Wiz was able to capitalize on. Not what you'd like to see there. No, I thought Malbs had a chance on the peak. Smokes have now faded. And so has Malbs' chances here in the 1v4. Wiz gonna put him down right there on a nice peek. It is gonna be Forsaken winning this half. And to try and end it, M80 not gonna have a lot of tools to work with in this last round.
And funnily enough, it's a completely different CT side from Forsaken this time around. Very aggressive against Complexity earlier today, and a much more passive approach to that A side of the map this time around. More relying on multi-fragging potential from your side anchors yourself. Wiz putting on huge performances in that sense, and then Infinite on the B side. It's two different sides of Forsaken, but both have looked competent enough.
Yeah, 100%. I like the ability to show both levels on that A side here. You can get in their face. You can also play far back. I do wonder what exactly the reasoning is to play a more passive style towards that A side, but you know it's working in some sense, especially when you start to see Wiz continuing to build that confidence. This guy 14-5 right now on the CT side of Vertigo, giving Wolfie a bit of a run for his money.
But as far as the op head-to-head goes, Wiz has been unreal so far. Obviously, that nuke performance that we had earlier today was definitely something to behold. And being able to see that form carry on over here on Vertigo is also just as exciting. One-way smoke dropped by Swisher. 60 tries to get cheeky with them. There's Infinite as well. All the cavalry are here, and the trades aren't necessarily the greatest for M80, but it'll have to do because there's only 20 seconds left on the clock.
Now it's Infinite striking with the AWP here, and he's looking just like Wiz. The same success. A 3K in the round. Make it 4. Not quite. As Mel has a couple of headshots out of his AK. A little 1v4 to cap things off would be absolutely wild, but it chases in from Stan. The HE will actually finish the job straight up here. It's going to be a 9-6 half in favor of Forsaken. We'll see if they can continue that after a break.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out. Hold on to what you found. Days are deceiving. My head is spinning round. Oh, I hear you now. Yes, the wolves are out. Inside of our reality. Satellites singing serenade. Send out a signal, please.
Here we are, what could be the last half of the night, but Forsaken, they want to prove otherwise here. The IEM Sydney closest qualifiers in North America. Swisher down early, but Manx and Malbs have fights for them. But Wiz, he will answer right on back in an electric start to the second pistol round coming on through here. As the dust settles, it's into a 2v3 and a lot of opportunities for Forsaken to continue their advantages.
Oh, let those fireworks begin. Minute 25 left on the clock, and we've already dropped 5 bodies. But as Forsaken pause, doubt will start sowing into the minds of the remaining CTs here. Rek and Wolfie split apart in this opening pistol. Infinite has grabbed a bit more utility here for Forsaken, if they so choose to just essentially set piece their way onto a bomb site. But at the end of the day, it's going to have to be big performances from either one of these players, and I think it's going to have to be Rek here.
Not exactly the ideal position, and definitely not ideal timing, but as he turns his attention back over towards middle, Wiz doesn't last more than a second. More opportunities here as he tries to buy time, tries to come through in rotation. They are closing the distance quickly, though. And Infinite able to shut things down as quick as ever right there. The flank formulating. Wolfie already giving over his position. Bomb being planted inside the smoke, though. Smoke spam just not connecting. Shoots his full clip down range. None of which do damage. And they do give him an isolated duel there. Infinite might have swung a little bit early. Stan playing on top of the smoke. Gets spotted out. Wolfie just waiting it out now. Has plenty of time still. Bomb just ticking on through. But Wolfie, he will start this off in a 1v2 clutch here. For M80.
Oh my goodness, man. That first flick onto the quad player. That was dirty from Wolfie. And then just towing with Stanislaw there. It's a bit labored, but he gets the job done anyways. Figures out that elevated position from the IGL. And sure, you have to deal with the force buy, but you gotta feel confident if you're M80 to get that kind of a start. Lovely stuff there from the Opper.
Absolutely. Again, had a good first half in the early stages. Was able to make that op look very clean. Very consistent. You'd imagine he'd be able to transfer that over into the CT side here, where he has more to look forward to here. But they still have to break past this force buy. This purchase is deadly. Manx elevated angle. JBA spots him out though quickly. Manx is dispatched of Swisher though. He's always looking to be one of the first activators here, but what lies around that smoke is near certain death.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Swisher has completely avoided the tease. So much on his plate and he can't get it done. Target selection too difficult. And sadly, we don't get a clip out of it, but instead we get a bit of a low light. Just Rek left up in this, trying to get some sort of damage. Takes the first down on the stand. Has a kit up, but of course with 3 players left up in Galil's, this becomes next to impossible. That second tap was a bit more overzealous. But Forsaken answer immediately back, causing a timeout from M80 and a terrible situation financially, especially.
Using a timeout there to try and talk things over. Maybe decide what they want to go here with the purchases, but I feel like it's probably just going to be a force buy here. Try and answer back early. Right there, I think just a lot of it is the superior weaponry, but JBA also dealing with both the MP9s towards middle is so valuable. Just starting off the round, setting the tone. You know, and that obviously makes the A-side job a lot easier. They still had to take care of Swisher, who was like the last little bit of you know, heroics there, the last little glimmer of hope that M80 had, but JBA starting things off is very promising here, so we'll see if the force buy is going to work out, though.
I mean, the percentage of these rounds being converted are very, very low. Swisher with a bold jump into side hall. Should get a lot of information, though, with the amount of nades and utility being thrown around here. Tries to get flashed in to get some ground, but instead will be met by 60's rifle. Have to just kind of back away. Really trying to hold on to this tarp control, but it's just too difficult.
They've got space in positions where you can very exposed here, but Manx will find one big kill there. Some diligent jiggles out of Wiz and his Galil are going to allow them to take site control. Malbs with the deagle tries to make it fly, but I think it's just going to have to be the best of scenarios, a save call here, but that's if they can successfully escape, as they should be able to bail out of this round. Forsaken now on 11, M80 stuck on 7, and his defense a little bit shaky, but honestly some really good protocols right there. I like the way that Forsaken are working around that A control, not letting them isolate things too crazy. Swisher's job going to be very difficult if that continues.
Absolutely. And you can start to see that T-side engine revving up yet again, Cole. We saw it on Ancient, we saw it on Nuke. And now we're seeing it here on Vertigo, slowly but surely. M80 can't get too comfortable here as this lead continues to broaden here for the Forsaken boys. And we're looking at a 12-7 deficit in just a few minutes' time. I think you're completely right. That is the name of the game that we should be looking at. It is that ramp control. How does Swisher navigate it? How does Wolfie get stuck into it as well with that AWP? And how can they hold on to this part of the map for as long as possible?
Absolutely. And again, Swisher, he's been the win condition here for M80 on map 1 very clearly. And it feels like in some of those T-side rounds he was the win condition as well, with the way he was able to crack things up. So smoke down here, 6 seat playing around it though. This is already such deep positioning, and I think that spam has been hurt on the wreck. He's panicking as he tries to transition out. Malb stands close beside him. Utility tossed on in. Flash is well connected. And a quick headshot out of Malb's deagle could do some work. Another one. Makes comes through with one as well. This round very quickly spirals. But as they stabilize here into a 2v2, it's only the USPs to try and fight back here. JBA spotted out. The flank onto Wolfie comes on through. They will just claim the kills by force, winning it by elimination, despite a little bit of a scare.
Oh, would have loved to see the perspective of Malbs there. Incredible deagle shots to try at least cause some rebuys, and it definitely does. But so close, but no cigar. At the end of the day, round number 20 has the buyout in full force for M80. No AWP for Wolfie, as I was trying to discuss about that ramp control. And how do they decide to opt in for it without the big green? Oh, nearly an opportunity there for Wiz as well to kickstart this buy round, but instead it will be Swisher to just charge down side hall. Nice little idea there from 60 Spam, but it doesn't connect.
Yeah, very close on the fadeaway here, but they've got 2 players tucked in towards side hall. The Spam's not really on the mark either. Although that, I think, has hit. Manx, yeah, he's taking a bit of damage here, but they're just going to still brute force their way on through. 60, he's trying to hold his ground, but Wiz, he's lost his life in the meantime.
Oh.
And in doing so, in trying to claim their spot on control of ramp, they are going to be devastated here into a 5v3. Where their last-ditch effort here is to test Rek with the FAMAS on the B side here, already landing a devastating dink. Infinite still fighting somehow, but Rek's not giving him the kill that he was hoping for. And Rek gonna continue to play around these smokes. What's going on here? What on earth? Rek is just diving in and out right there. He just looped around Stanislaw for fun, and we'll take him down in the smoke as well.
Oh my goodness, he's having a field day on the B bomb side, doing loop-de-loops on the playground.
It's like a really long-winded 360 right there.
Yeah. Trying to get one for the highlight reel there. And hey, I mean, it's done wonders for M80 that they were able to get that one cleanly. Relegates Forsaken at 2 SMGs. And I love that little ramp take that they had there. It's just so aggressive, but it's just so M80. It's so much more that identity. They're going to try to do it again. But this time around, the utility is not as efficient. And 60 and Wiz, this time, come out on the better end of that stick.
Yeah, something we've kind of seen out of Manx quite a bit is that he is willing to run these setups back twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the T side, on the CT side, we've seen it on overpass quite a bit. And it feels like Stan is immediately read into that here by sending just way more reinforcements to back up Sixy and Wiz, and in doing so, both of them are going to find their success here, leaving Wolfie on a bit of an island. Found a kill over towards that B side here. Sixy's walking into the A site backwards, but it doesn't matter as he's bested early. Malb's left with the last ditch effort here. They missed their molly. The flashes do connect at the very least, but Malb's, he can still stand and deliver. But JBA just takes that perfect fight right there, and it's Wolfie off to save here and Forsaken onto 13 with ease.
Yeah, and I mean, funds aren't the best for M80. They could be able to scrape something together, but it is a very last-ditch effort, all things considered. Another effective round there for Forsaken, just punishing the idea Manx had in store. And, you know, sometimes that double dip can work, but in this situation, it's going to cost them. And, I mean, it's not going to cost them just one round. It might be 2 or 3 at the end of the day. And I don't even know if Wolfie's going to be able to save this rifle. JBA is coming in from the ramp side. We've got another player from Z in Wiz. But here comes the other players following behind him. He actually manages it just enough. But what's the call here from Manx and crew? Because your funds aren't the greatest, and it seems as though we are going to opt in for the force buy. But this is really it here, Cole. This is the last stand for M80 if we want to talk a 2-0.
We're going all in here on the side of Forsaken. Or rather, yeah, like you said, M80. As they have gone for the full investment. They do drop it. I mean, that third map looks near guaranteed. And then they would start to climb that Mount Everest, like we mentioned. In just the most unbelievable fashion. These guys clearly are a team that's going to require a whole lot more than just firepower to put down. These guys never giving up, never backing down.
NA's Virtus Pro, maybe? In full effect? Paid by the round? Maybe?
Yeah. Or just like paid by the map, man. Got to get to the 3 mappers. As nothing can... I mean, they're always heading into their opponent's map pick. And as we said, man, very much so leading into this. Vertigo felt like it was going to be such a strong suit here. And still looks good, but... Swisher going to start things off with a nice nade kill. Not going to make the job easy. And they commit to the ramp hold. They're able to lock down a couple kills. Swisher finds 2. Infinite down low. This round could very well fizzle out.
Yeah, and only 35 seconds left on the on the clock, and 1 smoke left up for a potential cross, but it's really Wiz that's going to have to open up this bomb site if we want to talk about a potential Forsaken 14th. This flank from JBA and a flick over to Manx. That conversion could be everything, but there's mobs in spawn, and surely this round is over.
You'd think that. At the very least, we could be talking... Oh, no. Wolfie. We'll put an end to that story right there. Picks up an opposite reward, and... You would have thought maybe a bomb plant at the very least could have come through. Wolfie ensures that it does not, and honestly ensures some devastation onto the money of a couple of these individuals. An extra $800 could have gone a long way here for Forsaken, but they don't have that luxury. And now they have to call in a timeout to decide what exactly they want to do here. Because again, they're in a winning position.
Yeah,
definitely in that last round, but
you've got
it's going to be costly.
You've got the finances where you want it for M80. This is about as fragile as it's going to get. So Stanislaw actually does invest himself, and while it is a risk, you'd want to take it when you have a 4-round buffer like this. But regardless, this is the first round I believe that Wolfie has an AWP in his hands. So I'm curious to see how the defense is shaping up with him on that AWP. Wonder where he wants to go. Where he's going to commit to that ramp play, maybe an aggressive stairs play as he's done alongside his teammates on rifles. But instead, it's going to be the mid play.
Good that they don't go mid early. At HE, you know, is one of those bits of utility that can devastate the HP early and so much damage. But right now you're setting up a lot of utility for this B side execute. Maybe like a mid to B play is what we're kind of seeing formulate given the positions. But the first prong of approach is actually getting past Wolfie here. He's taking a deep angle towards middle. And he misses his shot. That's exactly what they need here. He's going to get that molly down to buy time. And that's probably going to bring in some reinforcements here. So a little bit of relief still.
And he did have Manx behind him in elevators as well. But they decided to cancel that situation outright. And I don't blame them. Wolfie has been quite dangerous with that AWP. Instead, they decided to recongregate at the bottom of B stairs. No flashes to get them into this bomb site. It's going to be purely the the smokes and the mollies. And they're going to have to find a way to dislodge Rec from the back of quad here. Or else it's looking like double digits for M80.
Good mollies. The entire side of things are engulfed in flames here. Rec is out in the no man's land. Didn't have a smoke to extinguish right there, so he goes down early on the play to the flames. The counter flashes coming through are incredible, though. Malb's just striking true. They don't expect the smoke push from Wiz. Look at this aggression coming through from him. Wolfie can't connect.
What?
JBA lurks out, and a high-risk purchase comes through and closes the round out for the side of Forsaken. That is just incredible.
You're exactly right. High risk and high reward. That's the map in the palm of their hands now. Forsaken could just reach out and touch Nuke right ahead of them. And M80 have bought all the way in. The AWP is completely nullified from Wolfie. The close range pistol's given too much room. And Rec can't get a single frag on the back of B. I mean, we talked about the value of holding onto your smoke grenade as a B anchor for as long as possible. And perhaps if he did have that smoke, there's a world where he could stand and fight, but engulfed in flames was Rec. And that's what happens when you are a bit lackadaisical with your utility as a B anchor. And it cost them, and it could cost them the map.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, maybe a surprise is that they have that level of utility to still dispatch, but
That is true.
like you said, man, it's the cost here. It could cost him dearly, but it might not when Manx finds 2 entries off of the back of the Swisher scout tag. It's a lot of info coming through, but they've still got to fight back here. Now, Reki has a chance at redemption. If he can buy some time, just needs to find 1 kill now. Infinite playing forward here. He is going to best him. Rek will find his 1 kill he needed. And 60 with the late mid lurk here, but I don't know if it's going to have much legs to it.
Yeah, at this point, just damage is the name of the game. Don't let them hold on to as many rifles as possible. The bomb is in Nomad's land, but has been spotted. Malbs has fought and chunked him down to 39 HP. Oh, 25 seconds left on the clock. Again, it is high risk, high reward both ways. And now it's Forsaken's turn to be up against it in terms of the financial woes. Can Swisher upgrade his rifle is the question. I'm sure he'd want to get off that scout as the timer ticks down here.
Gotta be something
And
somewhere.
there's that AK. There it
Oh
is.
yeah, nice. We'll get off that. Yeah, I mean, again, just a great round from Hanks. Landed a tough shot to open things up. Then he just needs to land the body shot. That A defaulting presence there doesn't go ideal at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's again, just kind of one of the ways, easiest possible ways that you probably could have closed this map out. Slipping from your fingertips, and they really can't make much of an effort to force buy back, although you actually do see 2 full belts of utility from a T side, which is a bit interesting. Missed smoke. No, it does land, actually. My apologies. Just a side hall smoke, though. Ooh.
Whew! Crispy to take off that rifle off of 60's hands. Immediately picked back up by JBA. Armless, mind you. But I do like the idea of having to potentially prime in that rifle, but too bad. Swisher and Wolfie are here to shut things down. And Forsaken actually willing to give up the force buy wars, save for 1, And now I'm assuming here we'll save for another. Still some danger within this round on the eco, but they want to secure that map point as quick as possible. They want to take us to nuke. And I respect the fact that they give some room for M80 to breathe while they take care of their own finances.
Yeah, we'll need to give over those, you know, couple of rounds that could actually build momentum. I think that's more so the thing that teams fear the most, is the momentum building that can take place here when you start to let teams get rounds in a row. But there's that utility belt dispensed by Rec, again, lacking that smoke, something that we mentioned. This time around, fortunately for him, there actually isn't any mollies to punish, so we'll sacrifice a lot of his HP, but he does have some extra support here. Malbs has made a transition on in. As we said, when you're in the hands of Malbs, it's quite safe, but Infinite actually found a kill from the back of Whitebox. That's just
How?
so insane.
But, I mean, now you've got, what, a smoke flash, maybe a right side Jenny smoke, plus maybe a flash to prime in Stanislaw. But this flash has to be absolutely pristine. And meanwhile, the flash goes the other way, blinds all three players of Forsaken as they slow to a crawl here. But not even a right side Jenny smoke. It's just an attempt to cross in a double box and maybe get a plant out of this. But I don't think there's really any leeway M80 is giving here for them to get any space.
Playing a careful game here. Flash is actually avoided by Wolfie. He'll be able to claim a nice pick. They're just still just looking for damage right now, as much as they can do to set the tone here in the future. As Wolfie and Malb's not ensuring that here. Wiz gonna go down soon after. That distance is gonna close to just 2 rounds. Scary stuff here for both teams. M80, a single mistake that could cost you at least map point. Whereas Forsaken, they let this one slip and they don't get like a lot of leeway, a bomb plant. You know, 14 all looks more and more likely.
Mm-hmm. Get Warden on the mic. Understand, again, the gravitas of this round. Understanding that this is essentially the map here. Or one of those quintessential rounds to decide the map. Right here. Buys on both ends, but as far as Forsaken is concerned, one of their last few buys with how flimsy their money is. M80 will have another bite of the cherry if they're to drop it here and try to run it back 3 more rounds. So keep an eye out here for what Forsaken's game plan is out the gates. What's the out of call spawn here from Stan? Is it the same old default here? Or is it something a little bit pacier, try to overwhelm, maybe Wreck on that B bomb site, or perhaps Wolfie on that A ramp?
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they do try and level up the aggression here. It has been very slow. Defaults, patiently waiting. I think this might be a not live though. As I heard some typing and we see some players a little bit hesitant.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, they're gonna call it a not live here, so this round should be reset relatively soon. Not gonna be played out. And again, not exactly the ideal time here. Every time you start to see those, you know, momentum being built, always a shame to shut things down like that. But either way, hopefully this one's quicker than the last.
And I mean, for Forsaken's sake, you'd hope it's quicker for them as well. They've had their momentum cut short a number of times on overpass, and it's always just frustrating to just sit in pure silence, right? In these tech pauses, you might have an idea flowing here or there to get the ball rolling in terms of confidence, and you can't say anything. You just have to sit there and kind of stew in it. But hopefully this gets resolved quickly here.
That would be nice. Couple of, like you said, just awkward tech pauses there on overpass that certainly put a damper on things for Forsaken. They're in still a winning position here on Vertigo once again, and then they have Nuke to look forward to if that is the case, if they do close this map out, if they do capitalize on 14 rounds here. Throwing a wrench in their system here. There's a little bit of a breather. And I mean, just talking a little bit more about Nuke. Obviously, that CT side that went really well for them versus Complexity was interesting because you kind of hinted at, where some positions are where things can be most effectively utilized. I felt like JBA looked super comfortable, kind of playing over as the mini player towards Squeaky, covering off that side of things, and then Warden over towards like the back silo anchor. I believe we'll be seeing them go back to their old roles of Infinite, over towards that B side, or rather ramp, I should say. And that's going to shift JBA back, I believe, over towards the side of Silo. And again, I feel like that could shake things up a little bit, but still, it's back to your comfortable positions. It's back to where you've been putting in that work. And, again, Forsaken have been such a impossible team to really break past here when it comes to being down. Putting them, or actually just like eliminating them in a series. Some of the best in 8 teams here so far have struggled already, and that might flare up here once again.
Absolutely. I mean, it is difficult to potentially switch up your positions after just a quick best of one on that nuke. But I do think that just fundamentally, these Forsaken players understand the map a little bit better now. And then if they do have that change up, I mean, JBA is going to be so dangerous in the back of Silo. We've seen how consistent he was on that CT side. And Infinite, I mean, we could see the output that he puts in as well on various maps. I'm sure Ramp will be a very similar situation. But we do want to just figure out these last bits of tech issues before we close out Vertigo here. So give us a few short minutes and we'll be right back with the end of Vertigo.
very well be seeing the final stages of Vertigo here. Again, apologies for the quick tech delay, but we should be hopping into what is going to be our final rounds on Vertigo. Whether that means we get another map or if M80 close things out in 2, we'll have to wait and find out.
I'm excited to see the conclusion of this. Forsaken finding a way to drop a couple of rounds that you'd think that they'd be able to convert. M80's money on the ropes, but still M80 find a way. Heroics from Manx and Mobs on their deagles. Pistols being the difference maker. And one more chance for Forsaken before M80 quickly tied things up. Wiz just charging up a ramp like this. I mean, that's some confidence. And he gets the kill on the Wolfie as well. Oh, that's brazen. It's bold. And that's a 5v4 for Forsaken.
That's unbelievable right there. What a fiery bit of aggression there coming through from Wiz. When they've hit a wall at 14, he's going to be arriving on the scene here to bail them out. Manx now picking up on the secondary here. Swisher throwing his belt down. But this time, they're not going to make the same mistake twice here. Knowing their limits, are going to actually concede that control. They have the man advantage. They have less risk here. So they'll go ahead and let you throw all that utility down. Just wait it out. They've got time. As that smoke fades here, they will just walk right on in, taking that space on back. And Swisher this time, good time to HE there, does a little bit of chip damage, but if he peeks, if he gives them an inch here, Wiz waiting for aggression there from Manx. They're just falling right into their hands, read like a book. And it's going to make their job all the more difficult.
What a great adaptation there from Stanislaw to give away that ramp control. And then the cojones to actually retake that part of the map. Completely catch Manx out. This boost, man. I mean, a lot riding on this for Swisher. But it doesn't matter. I mean, Rek will be here on the B bomb site, but they've been completely hoodwinked.
Yeah, so she's going to find that kill. He takes a lot of damage in the meantime here, but Rack needs to hold his ground, and as she gets nothing, it's got to be a save. No other option. So 15 secured here. Map point secured by Forsaken. Again, just a brutal day of Counter-Strike for them, taking on teams like Complexity and M80. They've started down a map, and both series now. And in the pick of their opponents have been able to rise to the occasion, level up their play here. Out of Wiz right there. I mean, both maps really. We talked about on the CT side of Nuke when he was playing up with Warden, just delivering a clinic. And this map again, man, especially when they're stuck on 14 and you start to see the fight back coming through from M80 with aggression like that from Wiz and preparation in the mid round from him as well. It's just really promising stuff there.
And look, you never saw that Wiz on the EG main team. You never saw that. I mean, you saw glimpses of that Wiz on EG Black. But that's the kind of Wiz that we were hoping to see, that we saw more so on RGB. That kind of brazen, flicky, fast style that can guarantee them some opening picks. And man, what a way to put them on a 15. And credit to him for being that bold. Obviously, it's not going to work every single time, but that exact amount of mix of aggression is what they needed. This time it's Stanislaw taking the aggressive mantle himself. A Swisher wants to go head-to-head with him. We've seen it on Overpass, and this time Swisher comes out on top, and now Wolfie strikes back in kind.
Oh, man, the Six just continuing to be a beast. Manx will stand close by here, ready to get him off guard. Rek with a very forward angle, though. And another head-to-head. That we're going to be seeing quite a bit here as Infinite versus Rek. It's been won up once again by Infinite. Assembling a very rapid boost as well. Infinite going to be taking a headshot angle with low HP. It's exactly where you'd like them. If anyone tries to get into that B-bomb site, but they're willing to concede. They have the man advantage. They have some decent retake utility. And there's no flashes here on the side of Forsaken to get them on in towards this bomb site. Just a smoke here that wasn't really tossed to perfection. And Molly on top to deny the default bomb plant spot, but JBA will able to safely punch it in. Smoke here. Now left into a 1v3 to close out the job here on Vertigo. He's inching his way forward, playing behind the smoke, which could be a surprise here. Mel spamming it, but as it fades, it won't favor him. Swisher will put him down, and the comeback effort will be continued here by M80.
I'm surprised that tick in the volley didn't actually transfer on over, but all's well that ends well for M80. They still get the job done. They still get their buyout to continue their comeback. And I mean, I still like the idea for for Forsaken rather, trying to be as aggressive as possible on that ramp. But this time around, the trades are just not in their favor. And Wolfie and Swisher both act swiftly back to grant themselves that ramp control yet again. And I like this little push and pull that we're getting at the tail end of Vertigo, who actually ends up with the most amount of ramp control. I mean, eventually that will just decide the victor.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to see the battle, the consistencies, the wars that have been waged between some of these players, back-to-back maps now. So many, kill feeds that look familiar when it comes to Swisher versus Stan and Infinite versus Wreck, and like you said here, some of that crucial bit of map control is just of the utmost importance, and it will be all in for Forsaken on this purchase. Everyone buying down close to zero. Not a lot of loss bonus. Same is kind of true for M80. They got a little bit left in reserve, but not much. A lot is riding on this round here, obviously, for M80, but if they can close it out, they'll put Forsaken potentially on the ropes again. It would be their best chance here, taking it to all 30 and close it out in 2.
Oh goodness, so much risk being taken by Wolfie to get ramp control. But as we've discovered throughout the series, risk may sometimes just equal a reward. And Rek has been an issue on this B bomb site, hasn't been able to get multi-kills or even one kill straight up. And this round is the same. 60 just decapitates him. And here's a route in for Forsaken if they so please. M80 decide to bite hard on this, but Forsaken are not committing. They're pivoting back to this A bomb site. I think, at least.
Seems like it. It's not a bad idea here. Fortunately for them, there's no aggressing players towards that A side. There's no one jump spotting ramp. There's no information. But they have fully evacuated their presence on that B side here, so you are going to see quickly Swisher, believe it or not, over towards B. And starting to call things clear. There just isn't a lot of rotation back towards A, though. There's no smokes to get past this op easily. Just a flashbang. Just one smoke tossed in towards elevator. Flash is trying to be avoided there. Wolfie not going to have much impact as he goes in and out of the smoke. He will fall short to 60. Malbs and Swisher left to recover this round in a 2v4. They just might give it a try, but Wiz has coverage initially. Misses his shot, but doesn't get punished. Will, though, buy Swisher's rifle here. Off angle from 60. He's just going to put this round down. Just one more kill, and Forsaken move to another third map for them. All the way from the open qualifiers to one map off the Grands. They will close things out in incredible fashion here on Vertigo.
I mean, they want to burn the midnight oil, so be it. Let us burn the midnight oil alongside them. I mean, this is an exciting series. I mean, I think the expectation for a lot of people was, again, just a blowout for M80.